Welcome back to Trashback Builds. We're doing a festive Gaslands conversion. This one is based off of this scene from one of my all-time favourite Christmas movies, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We're going to use some of these lolly sticks, or popsicle sticks if you're from the US, to create the sort of panelling for the sort of the Chevy or whatever it is, the pickup wagon, station wagon. And then I've got this thing as well that I noticed you can just pop that off of, which is going to be wicked. I'm going to glue that onto there, and that will cover up me having to deal with that blue, clear, plasticky whole thing. So let's get to it, drill some holes in, pop it open, get rid of that. And I'm probably going to get rid of that as well. Then I found this ornament in the pound shop, got 3 for £1, and it will be the perfect addition to create
the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Exactly what we need. So I'm just going to use my snips to just kind of break this open. I tried to pull it out carefully, but alas. So I'm just going to yank this out of here, see what we're working with. So we just take this off, so we just got the tree on its own. And get to sanding. So just do a quick sand, just all over the main surfaces, try and get in a bit of the grooves, just gives the paint something to stick to, and gets some of that kind of finished varnish off. And I'm also going to super glue those packages to the front as well, that I intend to paint up later to look a bit more like Christmas presents, because we are going to take some artistic Gaslands license with this. Right, then we glued some of these lolly sticks to the sides of the cars. I'm just going to try and give them a little bit of a bevel, just with my snips, and also kind of rough them up. I want the edges to be rough, I want the edges to have a bit of texture too. And I snipped off some thin bits and stuck them to the edges there. As you see, I'm going to snip off these bits here, glue them to the windows, create sort of barricades. I like the kind of wood sort of look in this particular build, it gives it to the whole Christmas thing. This gun I'm adding here, but later on I actually remove it. I felt like it got in the way a little bit, but I left it in anyway. This I will link in the comments where I got these. I can't think offhand who they're created by, but I will leave the creator's name in there. They're free. Something Valkyrie if I can remember rightly, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I will leave a link in the comments to where I got those Gaslands drivers from, because they are wicked, and they're by one of the many patron saints of this community. So shout out to you. Anyway, glued it together. As you can see, stuck another panel in. And also you see I stuck that big cannon sticking out the back there as well, just for good measure. Now, toothpicks on the wheels, you know the deals. Just going to carefully fit them in there. Lovely. Now I'm just going to fill up a bit more space by adding a few more of these panels, just making it look a bit more Gaslands, a bit more post-apocalyptic. Next, we primed it black, or I primed it black, and then I just gave it another little spray of brown. I would have added the footage of that. But that is literally all I did. Now I'm just going to highlight the wood panels. I started with a brush, then I moved to a sponge, a little makeup sponge, because it was so much easier. Just to bring out a little bit of texture. Add a little bit of lightness. I will go over this several times with a few different browns throughout this build. A couple different washes, a couple different speed paints, just to get it looking okay. Yeah, just highlighting it. Just ivory, I think that is. Or it might be a khaki. To be fair, it was just kind of browns and creams and beiges that I had to hand, really. Mixing various bits. Now I'm just going to start doing the metallics, or as we say all the time on this channel, silver for the silver bits. Right, moving on to the presents. Just going to do some white over the top first. Block it all out, and then I'm going to start filling them in with some colour, some festive colours. Got some nice green, bit of red and a gold that I actually kind of hate. I picked it up, poured it all out, thinned it out nicely, and then realised it was the wrong gold. But I'm rolling with it anyway, because, you know, there you go. Thinned them out a little bit, but to be honest, I'm putting them on much thicker than I would normally, just because the tree is going to obscure most of this, which I realised afterwards. So, just going to put a little detail, and then the tree will cover all of that detail up, but we'll know it's there. Look at that lovely Christmassy red. And there's that gold, really gets you in the Christmas spirit. And you know what else gets you in the Christmas spirit, and that is leaving a like and subscribing. And sharing the video, leaving a comment and doing all that good stuff really does help the channel grow. Now I'm going to get an old brush. This is a manky old dry brush. With some silver on it. This is just some lead belcher. I'm just going to stab at this a few times, just create some chips. And then I'm going to just do some stripes, some wrapping paper patterns. Do some white stripes and stuff on the red. I'm going to do some red spots on the green. Might kind of do some, maybe a bow kind of thing, or some ribbon. Just to break up the colour, make it look a bit more Christmassy. Really sell the idea of them being presents. There we go. Lovely. Very Christmassy. Here we are. This is me obsessing over this wood paneling again. Giving it another little, I think this is a khaki. And then maybe a little bit of Catachan flesh. I can't even remember now. But it mattered at the time. Then we're just going to tidy up the tyres with some black, just some of that silver overspill. Now we'll do the all famous weathering effects, the old Vallejo rust. Get it on nice and thick in all the main areas you want it. And kind of the bits where the rust would be most concentrated. Just slop it on there. And then later on we're going to go back with some water and just feather it out at the edges. And then it kind of spreads it out. And then the thicker it is, it dries a bit crustier. And the thinner it is, it kind of just sort of becomes like a stain. Really kind of sells the rust effect a bit. And then we're going to get a bit of a silver. Just almost like a dry brush, just like a light little silver. And just lightly touch up the tops of some of those rust patches just to bring it out a bit where it got a bit too rusty. There we go. Looking okay. Now, I haven't done this before. I've got this acrylic paint pen. I'm just going to use this to colour in the headlights. Now it's time for the tree. Beautiful. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, it really needs some roots. Because in the movie, he forgets to bring an axe. So they have to kind of dig it out. So I had to come up with a creative way of doing that. And I believe I did it. But first, we're going to wrap this tree to the top of the car. Now I thought I'd use this miniature barbed wire from whomever that was, World War Scenics, I believe. Now this turned out to be an absolute nightmare. This was miserable.
Well, I don't know what to say, except it's Christmas and we're all in misery.
But we got through it, sort of going under the window, over the tree, under the next window, over the tree, kind of tightening it, mushing it, squishing it, till eventually I got it looking okay. It definitely looks like a very Gaslands way to protect your tree. So moving on to that tree stump, got some armature wire, snipped up a few bits, kind of bent them into place using my snips for the sort of rooty, thinny, wispy bits. Next I applied a little bit of hot glue to the bottom of this tree. Then I used kind of the thick end of a chopstick here. Well, I glued the thin end onto the base. but just where it goes from a point to a little bit thicker, that's where I snipped it off. So I hot glued on that there, and then I'm gonna cover it in hot glue. I should have waited for it to dry first, but I am very impatient. So I'm gonna hot glue over the top of it to create like a tree bark effect. Yeah, I got this from an old D&D craft video ages ago. So I'm just going to reuse that method. So you just kind of cover it in strings of hot glue, wait for it to dry, and when you paint it, it kind of looks like bark. Then once it had definitely dried and wasn't still boiling hot, I started to stick some of the armature wire in the appropriate way, in the appropriate forms, and just kind of, you know, vibe fitted it till it kind of felt right, till it sort of looked right. And then I did the old cover it and glue again just to give it a bit of texture. Just follow the wire with the hot glue, and definitely don't burn your hands constantly. This was another absolute nightmare, and as soon as I started it I regretted it and wish I hadn't.
We're gonna press on, and we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye.
And we're just going to fit the final ones in there and follow that same plan. Just cover the wire in hot glue just to give it a bit of texture. Right, once all that glue's covered and dried, we're going to hit it with a black primer. This isn't strictly a primer, it's just a black paint, but it's all good. Then we're going to just cover that in that khaki or that tan colour. I'm not going to go crazy, just going to cover the most of it. Then we're going to hit that with a brown speed paint. It's a really dark wood brown. Just going to cover that. And I've kept those stringy bits of glue that you would normally kind of get rid of. I've kept. I think it gives it that kind of root kind of feel. Then we're just going to super glue in this little flame effect that I painted earlier. I think it's a spell fireball effect to the end of the cannon. And just finish off some little details, just like the headlights. And then some blood for the blood god. Just going to put that all over some areas. I'm going to completely ruin my brush quickly by brushing it across this barbed wire. And then just splattering it in all the main areas that would probably have contact with people foolish enough to try and steal this Christmas tree. My headcanon is this is a group of wastelanders that just fancied a normal Christmas this year as much as they could. So they went out, found the biggest tree, ripped it out of the ground. Now they're taking it back to their hideout to celebrate. And on the way, it's attracted some unwanted attention. Anyway, with all that being finished, I was about ready to call this one done and give a big Christmassy reveal. As always, if you like what you've seen in this video, do remember to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more Gaslands content. And wishing everybody a festive Christmas season. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.